Yo, what the? Yo, why is there somebody online called a diddler? What? Okay, all right, what's going on, guys? It's time to talk about a very interesting tier that I've been forced to start playing. And in my opinion, this is one of the hardest tiers that I've ever played before. Because I have absolutely no idea what's going on. That's going to be the very important context for this statement. I have absolutely no idea what's happening when I'm playing it. So, yeah. This tier, you have watched the two latest videos about the biggest Pokemon Showdown tournament. The Random Battle Team Tournament. This tournament is massive. Low taper. I'm sorry. This tournament is huge. Let me see how many people signed up for this thing the first time. This had over 1,000 replies, the signups for this tournament. Random Battles Team Tour, bro. This thing is huge. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I don't know why somebody named the Diddler or whatever. I don't know why a Diddler is online. Get him out of here. This tournament is absolutely huge. How many slots does this tournament have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Jesus Christ. I don't even know that. 16 slots? Hold on. Good Lord. Yes, these are 16 slots. How many teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 teams, 16 slots. Goodness gracious. Am I confident? Mildly. Mildly, I would say. My history with playing Random Battle Team Tour, we're not going to do any like preemptive yap or anything. I know this is a rare stream now, but my history of Random Battle Team Tour, I have absolutely no idea if I can find like the other Random Battle Team Tours that I was in. I don't know if that's going to be a thing I can do. I left a comment on what I think the first video talking about what my records were. But basically, the tier I used to play in this, I guess we can go to this one. Let's drag this one over. This was... Did I get drafted to the Hoopas? I think I got drafted to the Hoopas. Yes, I got drafted to the Hoopas. So, on the Hoopas... played Battle Factory. Did we go to... No, we got eliminated from this. I believe I went 5-2 in this. I'm seeing 4-2, so maybe I went 4-2 in this. But I used to play Battle Factory. If you don't know what Battle Factory is, it's basically like Random Battle, but you have like more competitive movesets, I guess. Everything's level 100. It tries to give you a quote-unquote competitive team. It's usually what a lot of people join that aren't really into random battles themselves, but yeah, so you would notice a lot of people that don't play Rambats would join the Random Battle Team Tournament, and they'd sign up for that. When they were discussing the formats to put into this tournament, they were like, well, the player base for Battle Factory literally doesn't even care about Battle Factory, and they don't care about random battles either. That's like, it's not verbatim at all what they said. It's not verbatim, but it was basically along those lines. So they were going to add a format from a community of players that actually kind of cares more about it. And I would agree. I literally don't play Battle Factory unless it's time for the tournament. So like every year, I don't do any practice in it. I play when the year comes up. So that's how it goes when I play this. So this time around, I did pretty decently for this tournament. I did pretty decently in Battle Factory. My records have always been around like the 5-2, 5-3, 6-2, 4, like that sort of range. I've played this tournament like 4 years now, I think. This is the 5th, potentially. This is either the 5th or the 4th year specifically that I have joined this tournament. I think I've been on the Hoopas 3 times. Let me see. Let's check. I have 1 Hoopa. I have 2 Hoopa. And I think I was on the Hoopas prior, before everyone just got avatars for free. So that's why I have so many Hoopas. Random Battle Team Tournament 6, Random Battle Team Tournament 7, Random Battle Team Tournament 8, I was on Zarude. And now for 9, I'm on the Royals with Meloetta. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at my records here. I went 5-3, 5-3 again, 6-2, 5-2. So the 5-2 was with the Zarudes. 6-2 was with the Hoopas. 5-3 again was with Hoopas, and I believe the other 5-3 was again with Hoopas. And going into this tournament, I almost didn't join when there was no Battle Factory because it's like, well, the tier I play is literally not even in the tournament. So I'd probably be like a dead slot because I don't play Random Battle. Nobody's ever really seen me play Random Battle unless it's on stream, I guess, but who cares? Got no accolades. No accolades in Random Battle. The other format that I even played was like Hackmon's Cup, and I think I went like 3-5 or something because I don't play it. But it was for the Hackmon's Cup tournament. But going into I believe I was the second to last to get picked. We could actually find the thingamabob. The thingamabob, very descriptive. I believe it's the draft video? Auction log. Right here. Okay, yep, there we go. Yeah, I believe I was either the very last or the second to last. Or third. It was one of those. But the auction was literally about to end. Yeah, it was the Relic Song Royals time to pick. And only one more team needs 20 players. I was the second to last pick. Added to the Royals. And I put in my sign up. I believe I literally just don't play any of these tiers. So don't expect much of anything. Also, shout out to the dun 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 dun. That's every stream. That OST is appropriate. I only got picked in this tournament for Battle Factory, so heads up, can still sub whatever the team needs. That's basically what I put. I would play these tiers, so any of the more modern gens, I skipped over Gen 8 because I don't like Dynamax. And then Roulette I could play as well, so it'd be like, I guess whenever they would have Battle Factory or whatever in the Roulette. So, all that being said, all that unnecessary backstory about that, we go over to BSS Factory. Now, they both have Factory in the name. They both start with a B at the very beginning, but these things are vastly different. So, Battle Factory is more like an OU. Like, it would give you an Uber's team, it would give you an OU team, an NU team, RU team. Like, whatever the tier was, it would give you that team. BSS is based on Battle Spot singles. And that's like the singles you play on cartridge. On the real games, that's what you play. This tier is extremely different. It is extremely different. We can go to the top. Everything is level 50. You have 6. You pick 3. When going into this, I was not even like aware of what was even good. I was not even aware what was even good. Hopefully we're not still dropping frames. Hold on. I want to see if any of my test games... Did we save any of the replays of our test games? I don't think we did. No, we didn't. Okay, so the backstory here. I come home from a birthday party, right? I come home and I have to play this tournament game in like 30 minutes. And I didn't do a test game or any sort of test games when I said I was going to. I planned to on the day, but then we were out like a lot longer than I thought. So I was like, dang, I have to play it. I have to play the test games like 30 minutes before. We get into the test game, and I asked dude, like, okay, so what are the broken Pokemon in this? Because I literally did not know. I didn't watch a game. I didn't play this. I didn't know what was even good to begin with. Are the sets actually... Yeah. I think they are largely viable sets from Battle Spot. What's going on, Fish? Viable. I got a handful of Pokemon recommended to me that were like, yeah, these guys are usually the broken picks. Chimpao, Basculegion is really good. Ursaluna Blood Moon, Iron Bundle. Like, these are generally good picks. And that was what I got. I believe I lost both best of 3s in the test games. The person I'm doing test games with is literally on our team, by the way. uh, shout out to the horror hair. He's on our team, and he owned me in test games, both best of threes. So like, high key, they should be the one playing, but it is what it is. Going into this, this first week was going to be like a learning experience. Is how I viewed it. Why I personally think this is the hardest tier is this timer. The timer is so brutal in this. It is unreal. Typically when I play Battle Factory, and even if you look at other like random battle games, people are taking so much time on their turns because they're calcing everything. Because you can. In this, you have almost no room to calc anything. Unless you imported like every moveset possible, I guess. That's something you could theoretically do if you took several hours out of the day. You could import every theoretical set and do the damage calc for them. You cannot. If you try to calc here, you're going to click back to this tab and it's going to be, I mean, even if you have it open on another monitor, you're going to look back and it's going to be like 20 seconds left. I literally had 5 seconds left just trying to pick the lead. Because I'm trying to import my movesets into the damage calculator. This is not something I did on week 2. I was trying to import things to the damage calculator because the damage calculator will give you so much information. Even when you're watching things like people do Kaizo runs or whatever. Not even playing competitive, but they damage calc there too. You got to figure out all the different roles and stuff like that and keep all that in mind. So I was trying to get it in mind ahead of time. So going into this lead scenario, I was afraid of not many Pokemon, honestly. I genuinely did not think that their first team was threatening at all, besides Rotom. Rotom, who I thought I would probably have a hard time killing, I guess. So that was about it. Like Rotom, I wasn't afraid of it sweeping me or being much of a problem offensively. But I was like, nothing on my team really kills it besides Bundle, who can freeze dry it. And he has no real resistance to freeze dry. I mean, not much really can resist Iron Bundle. I thought I had a pretty good matchup going into this, but it was a lot harder than I thought. So as I lead Bundle into Rotom, I checked the sets, and this thing has the potential to have Choice Scarf. So I was originally very, very terrified of that. Because Iron Bundle does not have a very high special defensive stat, so Iron Bundle might just get one-tapped. You might see later in the thumbnail, Golden Goal getting one-tapped by a Hydro Pump from Rotom. This thing can hit hard with its offensive set, so I was originally pretty scared. Just wanted to pivot into the Arcalodon, and then this Tinglu just went absolute beast mode, and there was not much I could do. I didn't want my Iron Bundle to take too much damage, so I was like, let me go to Zap. Figure out the set first. What's up, Pretzel? I land a Hurricane and get a Confusion. I was like, oh, nice, let's go. Doesn't really do much because it just switches out. Smart play. Brings out the Grimmsnarl, which is going to set up the light screen. And as I Volt Switch, I'm realizing, oh, I have 3 special attackers into light screen. That's not really good. That's not great. I also believe I feared... What move was it that I feared? I think it was Thunder Wave? No, it was not Thunder Wave. It was Roost. No. It was them taunting my Roost. I was going to Roost on this turn, but I was fearing Taunt. Now, I believe we can check the set here. This thing, it's definitely not the Sash set. It could either be Taunt or Thunder Wave. I don't know if the slash means it's like predominantly Taunt, but I didn't want to Roost on Taunt and then lose some momentum, so I wanted to try and keep momentum up. I could have Roosted for free on that turn. It didn't really matter too much, but that's just how I was thinking. Turns out they have Thunder Wave. When I switched, I was like, why didn't they go for Taunt? That's why I didn't go for Taunt. They didn't have it. What's up, Nimish? They have Reflect Light Screen. Now, I don't know why they went for Reflect. I have nothing but special attackers. Revealed. All 3 have been revealed. I don't know why they went for Reflect, but it is what it is. Maybe they were fearing Body Press from our college. I don't know. Basically, if you've seen it, you've seen it. Zapdos gets owned by this for several turns straight, missing several Hurricanes. Not like the Hurricane misses necessarily matter. Now, I did have the Terra Blast Ice. That is something that my Zapdos had. But my fear with clicking that is that I would still be hit super effectively by the Rock Tomb, right? Like, that wouldn't change that fact. And Earthquake would just start hitting me neutral rather than only super effective on Roost and all these turns. Like, any sort of misstep like this, he didn't know how slow I became after the 2 Rock Tombs, so he went for Earthquake on the Roost, which was smart, but I was slower than him now after the 2 Rock Tombs. If I used my Terra Ice, this Earthquake would have hit me. So I didn't want that because my Zapdos only had so many Roosts to go for. So yeah. This was like Ruination spam, basically. Even the Spirit Break started coming in. At this stage, I do manage to get the kill on the Grimmsnarl. No full paras happening here. I do believe I let Arcaldon die. And with Bundle in, this thing has some weird move. Something here has some weird move later. Hydro Pump. Yep, just playing it safe. I want to get the maximum damage on the Ting-Lu. You can still see timer going down. I'm still trying to calc things and make sure everything's in order so that I don't mess up anything at this end game, because Bundle's not going to one-tap everything. I had to check and make sure, does it kill Rotom from this range, given it has Volt Switch? Given I had to calc the damage it did with the Volt Switch to find out how much it did to my Zapdos, to then figure out which of the 7 quadrillion Rotom Wash sets it had. Okay, it's only 4. It's not really that crazy. But, like, they're all very different. There's Scarf, there's Specs, there's this set, and then there's also this set. But this set couldn't have been it because there was no Volt Switch. It couldn't have been Specs, I believe, because I calculated there was no damage like Specs damage. So just trying to figure out how much my Freeze Dry would have done. And there goes another Rock Tomb. And I had only 5 seconds left. I was going to Hydro Pump after this, but then I lost. I went for Sub to scout what they were going to go for, because I figured it was either going to be a Terra or they were going to go straight to Rotom Wash again. And then I was going to Hydro Pump, but I lost the timer. Now, ultimately, I don't think it mattered. At 48, I really don't believe Iron Bundle got a 2-hit KO with Hydro Pump. And then I just literally don't think I could have won from here. This was definitely still lost. Like, a Hydro Pump here. I guess I would switch to Zap. But I can't really Volt Switch. That's the thing. So I guess I would go for Hurricane. And then hope Hydro Pump kills. And then hope Freeze Dry kills Rotom at 80%. Which I just don't think happens. Unless then in that case my play would have been to sack Bundle. Go to Zapdos. Volt Switch. And then try and survive Rotom with 1 Roost. Which is not going to happen either. So I just lost to the timer. Not deliberately. I'm not going to say I lost to the timer on purpose. I was thinking for too long about what I could have done. And the too long in question was 5 seconds. So 5 seconds is too long to think in this tier. That is how it goes. Still with the context, I played, I believe, maybe like 5 games total. Right? I played 3, a best of 3. And it went to game 3. And then I played another best of 3 where I lost 2 games. So I played 5 games of this. I think I only won 1 of them in the test games 30 minutes before playing this. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I have to check the sets really, really quickly, figure out some of the demons on their side of the field. I had a feeling Chi-Yu was going to come out to play, even though I do have, Hydreigon. I do have the Hydreigon, which resists both stabs. I have Toxapex, which could technically resist the fire move. I say technically because I'm pretty sure it still explodes. This was... I wasn't threatened by the rest of his team. I was kind of more scared of Chi-Yu than anything else. And all I knew was that Ursaluna Blood Moon was an absolute demonic force of nature. And if they brought the Rilla Boomer, I did have the resistance here with Arcaludon and also Hydreigon. Yes, yeah, you look out for the ones that are just very clearly pretty broken. So the Arcaludon, like it's all the Ubers UU ones, Ursaluna, Bundle, like all these sorts of things. I don't even know if Bundle's in. Maybe Bundle is. I think Bundle dropped when I was playing it. To Ubers UU. Did it? I don't remember. But yeah, basically you just look out for the brokens, and when you identify the brokens, it's not just as simple as that, but it's close enough. Also, Embor cursed this. They said rooting for a game 5, and that's exactly what happened. But it is what it is. I let up with the Ursaluna, popped the Sandy Shocks. In comes Chi-Yu, just gonna go to Hydreigon. I do get burned by the Terra Flamethrower. However, this is still fine because I am faster than them. I'm Scarf. I was able to tell I was faster and that they weren't Scarf just by simple calcing. That's where calcing comes in handy. I mean, head calc alone should pretty much tell you that information. Vacuum Wave. This was a roll. I think it was like a 50-50 roll or something like that. But I got the crit, so that was pretty lucky. If I didn't get the crit, then it would have come down to the roll and I would have lost. Now, this was actually a misplay by me. Going for the Terra here was not a good play because it didn't one-tap Garchomp anyway. But I didn't want to calc it. I didn't want to calc it and then not have enough turns. I knew that my Arcaludon would live Earthquake regardless, but it was always the play to just not even... Yeah, this is why I didn't calc. I didn't calc if Terra Blood Moon into Vacuum Wave would have killed the Garchomp. I know it would have killed offensive Garchomp, but not this like bulkier spread, because I think it is a bulkier spread. Holy, there's a tournament going on. I believe Garchomp has a lot of sets as well. Yes, 6 sets. There were a lot of different sets that it could have been. I think it was it might have been one of the Assault Vest ones, if I had to guess, because I feel like it should have just broken into 2 pieces by a Terra Blood Moon, but I didn't calc against the AV stuff because I didn't want to run too low on my timer. Even though I had 30 seconds, I had PTSD. Okay, I had PTSD after losing the other game to timer. Shouldn't have Terra'd here, though. Should have just went for regular Blood Moon into a regular Vacuum Wave and then gone to Arcaludon. I had Terra Flying, which means if they went for Scale Shot here, they would have given me stamina, and it would have just got weaker and weaker and weaker. That's what I would have thought, Fish, but apparently even the Assault Vest sets have Scale Shot. Like, both of them as well. Both of the Assault Vest sets have Scale Shot for some reason. Yeah. I noticed that, but I didn't want to calc against AV. So I should have just not Terra'd and then went to Arcaludon and Terra'd to go for Terra Flying. That would have not risked literally anything. But I'm stupid. And got rewarded with no crit. Thank God. But that would have absolutely been my fault. So then we went to a best of 3 because we already did the thing. We already did 2 games, so we could just do best of 3. Because I forgot. I had 5 typed. Just like, will you challenge someone to BSS Factory? You can pick best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, but you have to check this. So I typed the 5, but then I didn't check it. So he just challenged her to regular. I'm stupid, but it's okay. Literally, the Discord chat was like, "Hey, make sure you do best of 5," and I was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I did." Did not. All right, this game I thought was going to be exceptionally simple, right? I felt this game was going to be pretty straightforward, but it wasn't. So, turn 1, they went straight for the Mirror Coat. They were expecting, I'm assuming, either a Thunderbolt or the Electroshot? That move? Arcaludon has a lot of sets. Okay? Arcaludon has a lot of move sets as well. That's what... I spaced it out. That's what you're going to notice. That's what makes this even harder for me. Okay, it doesn't have too many sets. It only has 3. But they're very varied. And they all have a pretty high % chance of being the set that's picked. You're going to notice that a lot, though. There's a lot that you have to account for, way too much that you have to account for. And in a meta where the turns just go by so quickly, even something like this Mirror Coat just loses so much momentum. All because they expected me to have a set that I'm mathematically more likely to have than the one I ended up having, which was rocks with like not even an electric move on it. So that was how that went. Then for the Icy Wind, I believe I roared them out. Oh no, I had red card, so it didn't matter. I went for Dragon Tail anyway. Did I reveal all three? Yeah, I revealed all three, which was kind of crazy. Maybe I could have went for Draco, but I didn't want to get mirror coated. I didn't think they were going to Icy Wind though. So with Iron Bundle, yep, that happened. So Iron Bundle comes out and Freeze Dry freezes me. My luck against Iron Bundle is tremendously low for some reason. I do thaw out, so all is well at the end of the day. All is well at the end of the day. I managed to get the Steel Beam so I can get out of there. Don't go for Dragon Tail because the Dragon Tail will not break the sub. And then Chien-Pao comes out. Hydro Pump is, of course, going to be super strong. I don't believe Sucker Punch would have killed at 53. Maybe it did. I didn't want to risk them going for sub regardless. It's not like Chien-Pao did good. Okay, yeah. It's not like Chien-Pao would have done good into a Lumamola anyway. And in my head, I kill Iron Bundle. I win the game with Landorus. That's what my thought process was. I don't guaranteed win with Landorus, but it's a pretty high likelihood that I do win. Okay, it's not pretty high. It was a 50% likelihood that I won. So I don't go straight for the Earth Power, because if I go for Earth Power into Mirror Coat, I just die. Terra is always going to be my play here because a Lumamola could threaten me with Icy Wind, which would be quite bad. I Sludge Bomb just because they could have Terra'd immediately. They Terra now. I chicken out and go for Terra Blast. Could have went for Sludge Bomb like a man. Maybe that was still the play. I think the same exact scenario happens. It was a 50-50. I think if they don't Terra and I go for Sludge Bomb, the same thing basically happens, right? I do a lot of damage with Sludge Bomb. They click Toxic. They go for Protect on the next turn. They sack a Lumamola. They go back to Gliscor. They go for Toxic. That same exact sequence happens if they didn't Terra. So that was a 50-50. And then the final 50-50 was guessing if the game was going to give them the 50% chance of getting a double Protect. And it said yes. So we lost that game too. So it is 1-2, I believe. This matchup, I was not scared of much, I would say. I was kind of afraid of Breloom to an extent. But like any Pokemon that I was scared of, I was like, oh, I kind of have an answer to that. So, Baxcalibur, I was scared of that. And then I was like, oh, I have Dondozo. Breloom, I was scared of that. And I was like, oh, I have a Moongus. Cresselia, I was kind of scared of that. And I'm like, oh, everything kind of blows Cresselia up. Like, that's not the ground types. I saw Ogerpon, and I'm like, oh, now that's actually kind of scary. But I have Arcanine. Glimmora, I don't know. I didn't know what the Glimmora was going to cook up. But anyways, I felt pretty decent about this matchup. Could not be mad at it. They led off with the Moth. I led off with the Dog. And immediately I'm like, oh, beautiful. I don't see a Rock Resist on that team. The Rock Resist is Breloom. What is Bro going to do? Dodge it. Lol. Dodges the Head Smash turn 1. You can see my timer immediately trickled down because I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't in the plan. It's an Endure set, so I think this is, yeah, it's red card. So I would have got red carded out. That wouldn't have been a big deal for me because Lando T absolutely goobs his whole team. This is red card to be into Ogerpon, which was moderately annoying. Let's see. Toxic Debris is up. All the rocks are up. They go for Terra. I believe I don't. Correct. So this could have got scary, actually. This could have gotten pretty bad if they had Trailblaze. Now, the thing is, I don't know if this even has it. Let's check. I know it has the move, like, in general, but I don't know if that set has it. Swords Dance, specifically. Okay, that's not the set. Swords Dance. It could have had Trailblaze. It could have had Trailblaze. Uh-oh. Same thing here. Yeah. It could have had Trailblaze. In which case, this could have been really, really bad. All because of the miss immediately. And I didn't Terra. Also, I lost both speed ties. So, without the other speed tie, yeah, things were even worse. Good Earthquake kills, of course. They already used the Terra. So since they used the Terra, they lost the Grass type because that's what Terra does. So they died, and then Iron Moth was obviously going to die. They weren't accounting for me having Scarf Landorus. It is what it is. I was not expecting it to have Trailblaze. I was not expecting my Head Smash to miss immediately either. So it is what it is. But we won that. And then the final game, I was like, well, their team is kind of trash, but there's things I can lose to. Like, both of our teams, in all honesty, both of our teams here were pretty bad. Like, my Gyarados was a complete brick into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possibly even the Hisuian Zoroark, possibly a brick into that too. What is happening to the bitrate? The bitrate is exploding. Okay, it's recovering. But yeah, Gyarados completely useless. Tusk was a really hard to justify Pokemon here because it bricks into Dondozo, bricks into Sinistra, bricks into Rillaboom. Does solid into Arcaladon, obviously hit it super effectively both ways. Kind of bricks into Zoroark. This is a hard lead, but I was thinking about it from their point of view too. They also have a pretty hard lead as well. So we end up picking some weird leads. Sinistra and Tinkaton. Except, spoiler alert, it's not Sinistra. It is Zoroark, and it goes for a Trick Scarf. I didn't mind that at all, actually. So, I definitely didn't mind that because I got Thunder Wave on the Zoroark. Wasn't too bad for me. Now, it did force me to switch, but thankfully I had Assault Vest Glamora, so I wasn't going to take too much damage from the Zoroark anyway. And Dazzling Gleam, even as a non-stat move, still does over 50 because Zoroark is a garbage Pokemon. That was rude, but yes. 2-hit KO for free. Easy clap, and I believe Sinistra arrives. I go for Sludge Wave because I took some time to calc it real quick, and Sinistra gets 2-hit KO'd even after clicking Calm Mind, so. Yeah, I just go for a Sludge Wave, and the next Sludge Wave kills. Like, guaranteed. I don't know if they calced it. I'm assuming they didn't because they went for Calm Mind. But Rillaboom gets the follow-up kill anyway. And I was thinking here about what I could do. Do I Thunder Wave and then let the terrain go down and let them slowly kill me with Grassy Glide? Like, they could be choiced. But I was afraid of them not being choiced and then me clicking Thunder Wave for absolutely no reason and looking like an idiot. I was going to do that, like click Thunder Wave here and then just let the Tinkaton die, let the terrain go away, go into Flutter Mane and go for Charm and stuff. But that was going to risk crits when I didn't want to do that. So I just knocked off and spammed a knockoff. Turns out they didn't really have any useful move to hit Tinkaton with anyway, so bonk, Flutter Mane pops him. And yeah, ended up winning the best of 5 like that. That was week 3. This is not week 1. I did not play week 1. I did not play week 2. I believe we went for BSS Factory. Yes, we started off 0-2. Some pretty strong opponents in BSS Factory, honestly. So, can't really blame losing there. Let me see. 1-2 and then 3-1 would be their the records of those people. So that our player lost to. So they subbed me in. I was surprised I was the first to sub in, considering we do have a BSS Factory sub, it seems like. But hey. The next week, I was back for some reason. Apparently because I won. I returned. So, it was time to go against Icy Penguin. And they were coming off a win streak prior. I mean, you can see, spoiler alert. Oh. But, hey. I didn't do any test games this week. When looking at the matchup as it came close to it, I was offered some test games, but I was like, okay, a lot of people are gassing this guy up, right? A lot of people are saying like that they're a threat for sure. I saw some predictions as well. I'm not someone to get like super caught up in predictions, but let me see. To surprise many people making an appearance, even winning in BSSF against none other than Lewison, Icy is showing why he's one of the best players in this pool, but what's going to happen if he faces an unexpected opponent? Yeah, so I was like, oh, dang. They're already 2-0. They're saying he's one of the best players in the pool. Instead of trying to get some practice games in, I'm going to try and study some of their replays that they've played and get a feel for their play style and their like Pokemon picking style, because I came to realize after playing that first set, right? After playing the first set for week 3, I realized this is actually a lot like 1v1 and 2v2 more than it is like Battle Factory, which is what I'm more used to. I don't play 1v1, I don't play 2v2, but I have been around a lot of 1v1 and 2v2 players, having managed the unofficial metas Premier League. I haven't managed that. I was around for a lot of the games of my players. So I got an idea, you know, in game discussion and stuff like that, when other players would spectate and they'd commentate on what they would personally pick. I was getting some ideas of how, you know, picking usually goes. And when playing this, I was starting to apply a lot of those philosophies to how to play BSS Factory. And I started to notice like how Icy Penguin plays. This is the impression I came to. Icy Penguin, to me, they look at, so let me swap POVs. So in their POV, they're going to look at not even their own Pokemon. They're going to look at my Pokemon, right? They're going to look at what I have, and they're going to look at what I could use to possibly threaten their team. And then they're going to pick 3 Pokemon that would counter those 3 that they think I'm going to bring. And it's worked like a charm for them. So to be fair, that is just about the most optimal way to play this, right? You can throw in some wrenches here and there. Like you can pick something that you don't think they're gonna think you're gonna bring, right? So they completely overlook it. That is something that you could do, and that was part of what my strategy was going to be. Almost backfired if I went through with it, but I went into this like, I have an idea of how they sort of do it. I watched all of their replays from the tournament so far, and I was guessing the Pokemon they were going to pick, the 3 Pokemon they were going to pick, I guessed it like 2 out of 3 times. So I had a general idea each time. And the 3rd Pokemon that I didn't pick, it was always like the +1 that I would put on the side. So I would look at, in this case, if I was watching their replay, I'd be like, okay, they're going to pick Chimpao, they're going to pick Ogerpon, they're going to pick Regieleki, right? And then maybe a +1 to Garg. That was kind of how I was watching all of the replays after sitting there. The problem was I was taking like 2 to 3 minutes to decide what they would have picked while watching their replays. And they were making these decisions within 60 seconds. So I had to adapt really quickly in real time for the actual match. Going into it though, off of the lead, this game 1 is very forgettable to me, I'm not gonna lie. This game 1 was extremely forgettable. I Thunder Wave the Ogerpon immediately, get that speed control right there and done. Set up the Reflect. What do I go to next? Polt. Yeah, Polt was pretty good here. Assuming no Garg. I think I do get punched in the face by a knockoff. Absolutely delicious damage though, so I don't care. Bonk. What do they go to next? Pow? Yes, Chimpao comes out next. I just go for the Wisp. Now, they could have had Lumberry, which would have been pretty bad. Thankfully, it was not Lumberry. Curse Body on the Crunch didn't really matter that much. Bars. Hold on. Curse body on the crunch. Did it matter that much? And then he goes for the sucker punch. Hold on. Glamora was definitely my safest pick last. Terra Fairy keeps me from dying to a crit wave crash in case it did happen to crit somehow. Toxic Debris doesn't really matter. Dazzling Gleam. Hit him with that Razzle Dazzle. Chimpow, I believe, can still win this by flinching me, which is scary. I was thinking about a couple plays here. Like, do I go for, like, what is the most optimal click here? Is it Earth Power or is it Dazzling Gleam? Because Chimpow has the possibility of being Terra Electric, I believe. Earth Power would hit that super effectively. I was like, okay, bro. Dazzling Gleam's gonna kill by that point. Like, it's gonna to-it kill by that point. I don't think this thing has Terra Steel. Yeah, this thing has 8 movesets, by the way, so that's also really great. Just so many things you have to keep in mind. Oh, yeah. It's one of 8 different possible movesets. Again, I've never played this tier before. Electric Fairy Grass seemed to be what it was going to be more often. Oh, Poison. Yeah, Poison was another one. So I had to keep in mind a Poison, too. So I went for Dazzling Gleam. I could have bricked into Terra Poison. Things could have got iffy there. So, like, I was considering clicking Earth Power for either Terra Electric or Terra Poison. It was none of the above. Terra Ghost. That it could be Terra Fairy, Terra Grass. It could be whatever. Because it has 8 movesets. Dazzling Gleam still hit him with that Razzle Dazzle for 78. My thought process was even if they went for the other move, right? Or other Terra, I guess I still had a chance. Icicle Crash does get the first flinch. Or does not get the first flinch. And does not get the second flinch. So, absolutely amazing. I don't think the second one would have mattered. I think the game ended, right? 7%. Oh, no. That one definitely could have mattered. Sussy. Somehow avoided flinches there, though. That's nice. Also, I got the best of 5 correct. You can see it right here. W. This game was a weird one. I'm going to be honest. This game was very, very odd. In my head, I was expecting, from their point of view, I thought that they thought that Urshifu was a brick. I was a little hesitant on bringing Arcaludon because I've been spamming it. Like, every time I got Arcaludon, I brought it. I don't even think it's that good. It just looks like it's that good in, like, a lot of matchups. It was kind of awkward. So, I led with it. I led with the Arcaludon, and I exploded to an Ice Beam crit turn 1. Very, very nice. I don't even know if it mattered because that felt like that was Specs, but I think I was Assault Vest. So I got just 1 tap. Now, unless that 1 taps me through AV, which would be crazy. I mean, we could calc it. Let's bust open the calc. I need to flinch anyway. Yeah, in that game, yeah, they would have needed a flinch. Oh, wow, Landorstarian. This was from BSS Factory. This is what I played it. Okay, let me pop up Arcaludon. I believe I was AV. Iron Bussin'. Boom, 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 boom. Let's pull up Iron Bundle. Where is it? Come on. You have a 10% chance of being Specs, right? Yep. Of course I got the 10%. Lol. Let's go Spectacles. Ice Beam. What set was I? No, I was definitely not AV because crit doesn't even kill that. Let's figure it out together. I'm doing the investigatory work here. Is that even a word? I think it's like investigative. Yeah, no. AV was definitely not my set. I was something bulkier. Okay, so I was this set right here. I was one of these. I think I was like Citrus Berry. I was something bulkier, but AV is literally not even a set that it has. So I was just some thick. I was some thick, so I don't even know if the crit mattered. The crit just 1 taps outright. With a roll. But, I mean, I had I had the chance to survive it, so that crit obviously killed all chances of it. Now, I was aware that it could have been choiced, and the reason I was fine with having my Archaludon just explode into a million pieces was because I could go to Cloyster right after. When I went to Cloyster right after, well, I went for Rock Blast. Then I missed. Then I thought this game was going to go straight to hell. But it worked. It worked out fine. Ice Shard. This was a weird play by me. I think my logic here was I thought they were going to go for... I'm trying to think about it. I believe Banded did not kill me. I'm trying to think about my logic here. I believe Banded Grassy Glide did not kill me. And I was going to hope that they were not Terra Rock. I was going to hope they were not a Terra that would have made them not get hit super effectively anymore by my Ice Shard. So I went for Terra Ghost that I could survive Grassy Glide with my -1 defense. And then 2-hit KO, but they were Terra Rock. So that didn't really work. And then they were also banded. So they killed me anyway. Skeledirgio, I get the torch song going because I know they're banded now if they did that much. And they missed the pump. Absolutely fantastic. And we win. I guess it made up for the crit. You could argue the crit didn't matter. It is what it is. So, all good things come to an end, obviously, because Screamtail arrived. And Screamtail decided it was going to hit me with the Temp 6T. It was going to sing, bulk up, substitute, baton pass. Didn't even know that was a set it could run. At all. I was not aware that that was a set that it had. And the time I came aware of it was here. Because it had a 5% chance of being the set. So that was awesome to experience. This is a very great experience for sure. 100% would recommend to anyone else. Oh, they landed the Sing immediately. Turn 1. I stayed asleep. Stayed asleep again. Woke up, got the U-turn. They tried to sub because I think they were expecting me to be Scarf, but I was not Scarf. So they sub, and they land another Sing. They're obviously going to baton pass immediately because they don't want to risk me waking up. They get a safe sub into the Roaring Moon, and the game's over. Yeah, I mean, that was basically how that goes. Sometimes the Screamtail can just be Sing, sub, bulk up, baton pass. Didn't know. I didn't know. I did not know. In the next game, I was like, wow. Alola Ninetales looks pretty good. I think that it looks pretty strong. Let's lead off with Alola Ninetales. Let me encore him so he can't do any funny business, right? Okay, because I'm not going to get 2-hit KO by the Moonblast. Oh, I got crit. Well, there goes my Aurora Veil for the whole game. Basically, Chien-Pao comes out. I have no Veil. There's nothing I can do. There's no Veil. There's no Veil. Everything's just going to explode. Why is this happy music playing? There's no happy music to be... No happy music for this. So, yeah. I definitely thought I was about to get unlucky again going into this game. Would have been pretty tragic. So, this... I said earlier that my thought process of maybe let me bring something unorthodox that they're not going to prepare for, they're not going to think I'm going to bring, that it could have backfired on me because I thought to them that bringing Tauros was going to be so obvious that they weren't actually going to bring the Chien-Pao at all. That was a thought that crossed my mind. What's up, Strong Hell Controller? I thought to them maybe, because they brought Chien-Pao so many times that obviously like I would prepare for the Chien-Pao this time. And I thought that they were definitely going to bring something for something that I was pretty likely to bring, which would have been the Tauros. So I almost didn't bring it. Turns out I definitely needed to bring it. Let's see this game. 10 seconds off the lead, by the way, and 15 seconds. Lead off with the Golden Go, Shuttle Ball. I am Spectacles. Golden Go to me was a fantastic pick because it has specs. Their Ghost Resist is Chimpow exclusively. And also I have Terra Flying, which means I hard wall Gliscor. Good as gold means I'm not going to get status. And Terra Flying, I, can't get hit by Earthquake. So Gliscor would have been completely and utterly walled. I thought that was something that could have been a potential bring by them because it would do pretty decently against Landorus. Decently against Great Tusk that doesn't have Ice Spinner. Meowscarada doesn't have Triple Axle, stuff like that. So that was part of why I brought Golden Go. And also the specs Ghost move, go boom. As they flip turn into Rotom Wash, the last thing I expected was that I was going to get outsped and one shot by Hydro Pump, that it is what it is. So this was also choice specs. And Rotom Wash outspeeds Golden Go by 2 points. Nice. But you know who outspeeds Rotom Wash by 1 point? Choice Bandit Great Tusk. So, yeah, Close Combat 1 taps the Rotom. Yeah, a lot of choice activities going on here. So as they went to Chimpow, I knew that this thing had the potential of being Terra Ghost. So I didn't want them to just Terra Ghost on another CC. I go to Tauros because Tauros walls Chimpow anyway. That's what it's here for. Fight fire. You resist dark. You resist ice. You can only really get hit by Terra Blast or Sacred Sword. They go for Swords Dance and they go for another Swords Dance. I get the Body Press. It's almost a direct guaranteed to it KO. I think it's like 99% chance or something ridiculous. This thing is called the Firefighter. Holy. Terra Electric, Body Press. Yeah, 98.8% chance to 2-hit KO. So I was like, all right, bro. I don't care if you go for Terra, okay? You're either getting 1 shot or you're getting 2 shot. Then I saw the first few frames of Icicle Crash, and I was like, oh god, why did they just click that instead of Terra Blast? Oh, they're trying to flinch me. Oh, I'm definitely going to get flinched. Oh, I just lost the game. Those were like all the thoughts that happened in my head within seeing the first frame of Icicle Crash. I didn't even register that it missed yet, that it was off to the side, but I saw Icicle Crash rather than a Terra Blast animation, and my brain was just, why did they click that? Oh, I'm going to get flinched. Oh, they definitely flinched me. Oh, I got flinched and I lost. That was all I was thinking. But no, they missed. So the game ended. They got flattened. So that ended up being an absolute victory royale. It couldn't matter. It was a 2-hit KO at that range. Pretty much guaranteed. Now that it already did 51, it was guaranteed to 2-hit KO from there. And so we are now 2-0. Can I continue the streak? Let's find out who our next opponents are. I believe I play the Moons next. The Moons has Papi Loco or Amaranth. I think Amaranth because Amaranth won this week. So it looks like I play Amaranth this week. If I'm still in, I might not even be slotted into this again. Who knows? Then after this, the Royals, we play the Hoopers, which should be, I believe, Yone. Yes, I play against Yone next. I think they went like 7-0 last time in the previous iteration of this. I don't know if I can find it. Let me see. RBTT8. I think they win. Let's see. Yes. Oh, 7-1. Close enough. They went 7-1 last time. So that's a little bit of aura. Uh-oh. But that's okay. And then the last opponent is from the Flame Body faction, which should be Slickles, who is currently 4-0. So I basically have quite a handful of good opponents left to play against. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This is not the tier I signed up for. I mean, Yeah, I literally put I'm a sub, so sub into whatever the team needs. It seems the team needs this to be subbed in, so here I am. I went 5-2 last time. Played Sickles in Battle Factory last time. This is the last time we met. We played Battle Factory last time. And I won. Will the same happen in BSS? I have absolutely no idea. Best of luck. Yeah, we will try. I don't know if I have anything else. I think that was about it. This is definitely, I will say this. If you don't know anything about battle or battle spot like I don't, this is the hardest tier that you can play. I'm just going to say it. It is. It is the hardest tier because a 60-second timer nonstop, like the actual in-game, is crazy. It is absolutely, so there's way too much to account for. And the skill set itself is more akin to 1v1 and 2v2. And you don't play either of those, well, you have even less of what you need. So I have I'm a level 1 grunt right now. I'm a literal level 1 grunt right now. I'm gonna stream more often? I have no idea. But I did want to stream this real quick. Just to get something to stream. Just to get something. So yeah. That should be it though. That should be it for me. Short little 1 hour stream. Dang. You came in at the last second of the stream with this sad music playing. It's about to be Super Bowl time, so we will get in with that, all right? Doing good though, doing good. I will see how this tournament will keep going. Oh my god. All right, I think we're done. Next time you see me, we will either be 2-1, 3-0. We could lose every game for the rest of this. That'd be awesome. Wouldn't that be great? I'm gonna upload them all if I still lose. Manage UMs? Probably not. No. I'm not gonna manage AGPL or the under unofficial metas Premier League, I don't think. I don't know what else I would manage, if anything. I'm just a sub. I sub for Uber's World Cup just because they asked me if I wanted to sign up. So I'm like, sure. And then this, I signed up on a whim. So I don't know what else I'm going to do. Definitely not going to manage anything